Welcome back to the Content Marketing Playbook. I'm your host, Josh Culler, and what is going on? I'm excited today about today's topic because this is what I live and breathe for, is video content. And this is by far my favorite topic when it comes to anything marketing related. It may just be anything period. But we're going to be talking about video content and the importance of it. I have some very interesting statistics. Those of you who are following me on Instagram or Facebook, you probably saw my story. Depending on when you're listening to this, I posted a story with some statistics about video content and kind of the trends that it's going towards. And it is absolutely insane. I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're not doing video content right now, you've already missed out on a lot of opportunity to leverage video content in order to bring leads in for your business. But if you don't get serious about it, I'm telling you this flat out. If you don't get serious about video content and doing it for your business, you are going to lose big time. And these statistics that I have are going to back that up for me. So you guys make sure that you are doing video content. If you're not, then your business is going to be obsolete because of the way marketing is going. And so I'm going to teach you guys how you can do this on your own though, and where to start with video content, because video content is one of those things that a lot of people have just been trained over the few years that video's kind of been in existence, that you got to have lights, you got to have studios, you got to have like wonderful microphones and all that kind of stuff. And that is just not true. I want to show you how you can do it on your own and actually like leverage video content without having to hire somebody like myself and spend thousands of dollars in order to bring me out to your location to film video. Now, there is a time and place for that, right? There's a time and place for me to actually come out, but it's not the best place to start because it is expensive. It is very elaborate. So I want to make sure that you can do video content on your own, and it starts with you. So if you can't take video content seriously yourself, then it's just not worth your while to bring somebody like myself or another videographer out to your location to film video. So if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram Live right now, for those of you who are listening to the podcast, I'm live on both those platforms right now. But if you're live on any of those, make sure to leave a comment below if you have questions about video content, anything you want me to cover, anything you want me to talk about. I'm more than happy to discuss that. And if you have any questions, if you want me to cover any specific topics on the Content Marketing Playbook, this podcast, reach out to me. josh@cullermedia.com is my email address. Colored spelled C-U-L-L-E-R. So josh@cullermedia.com. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. So let's get into the topic today. And I am vlogging right now on my rig. So my vlogging, I'm gonna not be able to set this back up, but I'm vlogging right now. You guys are gonna start seeing some more video content coming out from me, as if you don't like seeing my face already. But that's what it is. So right now I'm vlogging, and this is actually one of the ways that you can create content, which is documenting. So I'm going to read statistics first to start off with, but I just want to show you right off from the get-go how easy it is to create content. Is just taking a camera like this, or even your cell phone, which is an awesome video camera itself, taking a camera like this. Let me get it on camera here. So taking a camera like this, and those of you who are listening to the podcast, I'm holding a Canon G7X Mark II. It's a vlogging camera, and you're just going to vlog and talk to the camera. So I'm talking to the camera right now. That's documenting. This podcast is already happening, but I can just get even more content by filming with another camera, right? So that is vlogging right there, and you guys are going to see some episodes coming out with that. That's a little bit of a sidetrack, but I want to read some statistics for you because I love statistics, because they give hard evidence as to why I'm talking about what I'm talking about, right? So I don't know if that made sense, but anyway, so there's just a handful, I think 4 or 5 statistics that I really want to swing your way so that you can start getting the wheels turning and understanding how valuable content marketing is from a video perspective. So here it is, right? This is hard evidence, and these are video trends that are going up right now. And there's like 20 of these video trends, but these are the 5 that really stood out to me and were just insane. So the first one is just mind blowing, and it is by 2022. So just year and a half, 2 years away. Online videos will make up more than 82% of all consumer internet traffic. Whoa, what? Like, that is insane. That is insane. So literally 82% of all traffic that goes to the internet, which is how you're listening to this right now, whether it's on a podcast, YouTube, or Facebook, 82% of all traffic will be through video. That is stupid. That is insane. So do you think maybe you need to get on video from that one statistic? Probably. The second one is 78% of people watch online videos every week and 55% view online videos every single day. Now, that's a statistic that's everybody. A lot of times I'll get people come my way like, hey, my demographic is older, or my demographic's in their 50s or 60s and they don't watch video. No, guys, this statistic, 78% of people watch online videos every week. That's not just millennials. That's not just Gen Z. That's everybody. So 78% of the world's population watches online videos every single week, and 55% view online videos every single day of their life. So that is everybody. That's not just millennials. That's not just Gen Z. So that's your audience, no matter what you're doing. The next one is a Facebook executive predicted that their platform will be all video and no text by 2021. Now, this one's a little bit of a stretch for me. I don't know if I fully believe this, but I don't know. Like, that's mind-boggling to me. And to me, I think that if you're not taking that seriously, then that might be that might be a roadblock for you for your marketing purposes on Facebook. And Facebook is a very heavy video platform. I mean, I don't know what the percentage is, but I know a very large percentage of the content that is on Facebook that's put out by everybody is video. Next would probably be imagery and then text, but very few people actually, type a status with just text nowadays. A lot of times it's video and or imagery that goes with that text. So that is an insane stat for me, I think. The next one is YouTube is the second most popular website after Google. That's bingo. Like that's there's your answer. And what is YouTube? It is 100% video content. It's a video content platform. So it's the most popular website right after Google, which is insane. So you got to have it. Then the last one I have here is users view more than 1 billion hours of video each day on YouTube, which is, that shouldn't shock anybody. I think that's a huge thing. So I just wanted to lay the groundwork of video content with that for you guys, here. I think it's important to get groundwork going, give you some, hardcore statistics of how valuable video content is. So I'm not going to go too deep into that anymore. So let's talk about where to start. So where do you start with video content? Like I said, right now, I was vlogging with this small little vlogging camera, and then I've got Instagram Live right now. So that's a video right there. I'm live on Facebook right now, and then I'm going to post this on YouTube later today. Like, I'm literally getting 4 different types of video content within one podcast shooting. So that's huge. So the first thing that I have is documenting. Documenting is probably the most effective way that you can get video content out there without having to waste more of your time. So what I mean by that, there's really 2 types of ways to, and I have an entire episode about this, so I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'm just telling you where you need to start. There's really 2 types of ways to create video content. Number 1 is documenting. Number 2 is producing. So producing is more along the lines of like what I'm doing right now with my Canon EOS R, which is filming me doing this podcast. So that is producing. I'm producing this episode. It's going to have an intro. It's going to have some music with it. It's going to have some nice, touch-ups and whatnot. It's going to go on YouTube. I'm producing it. And I'm literally sat down, squared off some time to sit down and record this episode, right? So that's producing. Documenting is basically like what I'm doing on Instagram and Facebook Live right now, and then the vlogging, where this content is already happening. So therefore, I can use other methods of capturing content in order to create more content. So I'm already going to record this episode. So why wouldn't I go live on Instagram and Facebook and put out more content and then vlog with it as well, so that I can use that as an extra piece of content that goes out. So that's what documenting is. It's basically, you just got to think of it this way: is documenting is capturing content that's already happening, and then producing is actually like squaring off some time and saying, all right, we're going to sit down and we're going to do this piece of content, right? Now, there is planning behind documentation, but it's not as elaborate. So let me give you an example. A lot of my audience are real estate investors. So you might wholesale, you might fix and flip, or whatever you do. So documenting, a good example, one of my clients does this very well. Faster Freedom, Faster House, the Faster crew from St. Louis over there. Brian Schroeder is the owner of the company. But a lot of his team members, they actually invest themselves. And so we actually just produced a video for them where they sent it over, and they recorded a bunch of videos of them walking through a rehab that they're about to start. And then they're gonna record so they recorded a bunch of videos, like, and my team strung it all together. They recorded a bunch of raw videos of them walking through the rehab, pointing out things that need to be done and whatnot, things that they're gonna change the tub surround. They're going to put in a new faucet. They're gonna add new tile floors. They're gonna add new cabinets in the kitchen, stuff like that. So they're already walking through the house, talking about the rehab with each other. So why not just film it while it's happening? And that's what they did. So then they sent it over to us. We produced it, strung it all together, and sent it back to them. And that's a piece of content for them. So that is something that is I highly recommend. So as you're going through a wholesale deal and you're pre-looking it, you're looking at it before you lock the deal in and you sign a contract, film about it. And the reason why is, and some people might say, like, Josh, we could film about walking through a wholesale deal, but we're not going to build an audience of motivated sellers. And you're right. But if you're a wholesaler and your primary source of income is bringing deals in, wouldn't you think that other wholesalers would like to work with somebody that knows what they're doing? So therefore, the content that you put out gives you that credibility, the authority to show people that you do know what you are doing. So that's a really good way to actually get some content out there, is documenting it, something that's already happening. Let me give you another example. If you own a gym, and I use this example because it's an easy example to use, but if you own a gym and you maybe you have a workout session, during that workout session, just have a camera sitting in the background, or have somebody that's an assistant of yours or whatever, one of your employees, hold a camera and film you while you're teaching the class to the actual the people that are in your class. So if you're running a class that is like a 30-minute workout session, have somebody hold the camera for you while you teach that class, and that's content right there, because you're going to be telling your class, hey, do this, and then somebody can capture that on camera, and then you put that out later on Instagram or whatever. That's content. So that's documenting. It's something that's already happening. This is like Gary Vaynerchuk is the one that's really known for doing this like heavily. So basically he has somebody follow him around with with a camera and document his day throughout the entire day that he walks through, like into meetings, when he is like in the car and he's talking on the phone and stuff like that. That's all documentation. So that's the best way to get started with video content, as opposed to just sitting down in front of a camera and scripting something out. I think that's not the right place to start, because it's the hardest place to start. Documenting is by far the easiest thing. And I'll give you some ways that you can actually make that happen. So that's the first thing I'll tell you. The next thing is testimonials. So with video content, testimonials are huge. And this can also be translated to case studies as well. So testimonials, the difference is testimonials is somebody is one of your clients, one of your customers does a video for you. You ask them, hey, would you do a video for me and let me know what you thought of this? Then you actually take that video and you record it with your phone, you record it with camera, whatever, and you put that out. That's a testimonial. A case study is where you ask the customer and say, hey, I had this situation with you. Maybe you don't feel comfortable on camera. Would you be willing for me to record myself talking about your situation without using your name in the specific situation that you were in? So make sure that you do that. I think that's a really good way to actually get content out there, is to do case studies. Case studies are massive. They're going to build a lot of credibility for you, and you're actually showing people that you have empathy for their situation and you're able to solve it. And you're telling people how you're going to solve it. So case studies are massive. All right, so that is that. So testimonials. And then the next thing is tips for your target audience. Again, this is a pretty easy one. So you could literally just in the morning, take out your phone, take out a camera like this, and record a quick tip, like a 30 to 60 second tip about whatever it is you do, whatever your service, your product, whatever it is. So if you are a wholesaler and you want to shoot a quick tip that goes out on your Google My Business page or Facebook page, your website, shoot a quick video like giving a tip to a seller on like the process of closing, or the process of working with a real estate agent, or the process of updating their house or whatever. Give value to that. So give them a tip. This is again an easy one, but if you own a gym, like wake up in the morning, get out of bed, go do your exercise routine, and just tell people what you're doing for that day. Say, hey, today is arm day. Today I'm going to be doing, 3 sets, 10 reps of curls. I'm going to be doing some bench presses. I'm going to be doing blah, 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 blah. and just give those tips to people. And that's an easy way to do it. Again, that's documentation, but that's a really good way to actually start with video content. So those are the three things that I would start with if you're going to do video content. Number one is document. Number two is testimonials, which is also all these are documenting, but testimonials, case studies, and then tips for your target audience is another good one. So how do you actually make this happen? That's a big question. It's very, very simple. Actually, it's extremely, extremely difficult, guys. I'm totally kidding. So your phone, right? So right now I'm recording on Instagram live with my phone, and it's actually good quality. I've got a $30 lapel mic plugged in, and then it's on a selfie stick right now, or a selfie tripod. It's got a phone mount on it. And so you got a phone, you got a tool that already you use on a day-to-day basis, and it has an excellent camera. So if you have a phone that's like 3 to 4 years old or new, so like it's like the oldest you have is 4 years old of a phone. So we're talking like iPhone 6. Then you have a good enough phone with a camera that you can record content from your phone without having to buy a $1,000 DSLR camera or a $700-800 vlogging camera like this. So use your phone, and then you can get a $30. This is a $30 lapel mic. The brand is Dewise, Dewise, a $30 lapel mic. And I'm feeding this to Instagram live right now. So the actual microphone that I'm using right now is the Yeti microphone, but this is a $30 microphone. It sounds great. If you're on Instagram live, you're probably like listening really well. So $30 lapel mic if you want to get good audio. But I'll be honest with you, if you use your cell phone speaker that you speak into, it's meant to pick up your voice. So it is going to be one of the best external microphones that you can use on a device, as opposed to like a microphone on a camera like this or a DSLR camera. You really need to have a lapel mic or some kind of microphone that's going to feed into your camera, because that microphone is not as good, and more times than not, it's going to be further away from you than distance. Whereas your cell phone, you're going to be holding it close to your face, but that microphone is meant to pick up your voice. So make sure you do that. So Tyler, this is the Power Dewise microphone. If you go to Amazon, you just type in lapel mic Power, it'll pull up. So good tip there. I'll send it to you later if you need it. All right. So for production, this is a big one. This is a big question that a lot of people have. What do I do once I record a video? Do I upload it raw straight to the internets, or do I get it produced? What do I do? So the short answer is you can just post it raw like you recorded it. So just make sure that when you are ready to record, you hit record and then go. So you're not like, you don't have like 10 seconds of dead space there. And then as soon as you're done, hit stop recording. But that's one way to do it. That's fine. That works. It's the easiest thing to do. And so if that makes it to where you're actually going to put content out, then do that. The alternative is to have a third party produce it where you're not having to produce it. So I contemplated talking about this or not. Maybe I shouldn't, but me and my team just built a website called rei.video, where you can actually go to the website rei.video. You can record your own videos, film them by yourself, and then literally send the raw footage to this website, and then give us instructions on what you want the finished product to look like, and then we produce it that way. So that's shameless plug there, but it's in beta mode right now. So if you want to use it, then just understand it's in beta mode, but you can still submit projects there. rei.video. And so that's one way, is to have a third party. Another way is like, Fiverr. I think Fiverr is really well for stuff like this. And then Upwork. All of my video producers I found on Upwork, and they're all rock stars. I do pay them a little bit more just because I got to retain them. They actually work around the clock for me. So those are that's my team. I found them all on Upwork. I pay them. I'm not going to tell you how much I pay them because it's a lot more than what you should pay them. But find somebody that's in the Philippines or in Europe and have them produce a video for you. And that's the way you can do it. And they can have it sent back to you in 24, 48 hours, and then you can publish it just like that to whatever platform you want to do. So don't worry about production, I would say. Don't spend time learning. I've had so many people say like, yeah, I tried learning iMovie and Premiere Pro and After Effects and all that stuff. Like, don't spend time doing that. Spend time focusing on the things in your business that actually like are going to generate revenue from you and the skill sets that you have, and let other people do those types of things. So either publish it just straight raw like that, or if you want to add some post-production behind it, send it to a third party like Fiverr, Upwork, or rei.video in order to have it produced. And that's one way you can do it. So that's equipment. Last segment here is what, like, concept-wise, what do you do? So the number one thing is focus on bringing value. You guys heard me say it before. The sole purpose for content marketing is to answer people's questions. That is the only purpose for content marketing. You are answering the questions that your potential and target audience have about you, about your industry, about your product, your service. That's what it's meant for. So focus on bringing value. And that's why I even gave you the example of creating tips for your target audience, because you're bringing value to them in that form. So make sure that you do that. That's one way to make it happen. Bringing value is to create tips for them, but you got to focus on bringing value and don't sell. Guys, this isn't advertising. This is content marketing. There's a big difference. Advertising is where you're giving like a sales pitch and you're telling people to take action on something, which you can do in your content marketing. I always have people give a call to action at the end, but it's a very short call to action, and it's very vanilla. So it's like, hey, if you want to learn more about, or if you have questions about, what we can do for you, the things that we can do for you, or the services, the products that we have, then click on the website below and learn more about it. That's your call to action. But just focus on bringing value. That's the most important thing that you got to worry about. Don't sell. Just don't sell. I don't know how many ads I get from people where they're just literally, they jump right into the sale, and I literally just jump right off the ad video. So don't do that. Consumers are smart nowadays. They're very intelligent. They've learned when they're getting sold to, and they disengage immediately. It's just in their brain to do that. One of the statistics, I closed the window, but one of the statistics that they gave about video content is that video content, like when it comes to ads, 95% of people that watch like a Facebook video or a YouTube video, and you have an interruption ad that happens, like a pre-roll or a mid-roll ad, 95% of people skip that ad as soon as that button comes up that says skip ad. And so people don't want to see it. And the main reason is because they're just getting sold to. They're getting sold. Just don't do that. Stay out of it. Deliver value. Focus on that. And then the last thing here is just don't worry about the lights, the studio, fancy cameras. Don't worry about any of that stuff. It's all smoke and mirrors. Again, like if we're talking about the 2000s, if we're talking about the late 90s or whatever, yeah, you might need to worry about getting an $8,000 camera, a studio, lights, and all that kind of stuff, because that's what people were used to with video. But nowadays, especially with the rise of like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, stories on Facebook, stories on Instagram, people are becoming more and more okay, like literally by the day, people are becoming more and more okay with raw content being uploaded to them, as long as it's relevant and it brings them value in some way, shape, or form, whether that's through entertainment, through education, through information. That's what people are more worried about. They're not worried about you having beautiful lights, beautiful studio, insane quality sound with no background. Like, people don't care about that stuff anymore, guys. They just don't. So don't focus on that. I don't know how many clients I've been to their location and they spent more on video equipment than I did as a professional videographer, and they never touched it. It's still sitting in the box. Like, I'm telling you, this happens because they don't want to use it. They don't know how to use it, but that's okay. You don't have to. Just use the current tools that you have, which is your phone. Get a $30 lapel mic on Amazon, and very minimal post-production. Now, that's just content marketing. Now, if we're talking about like lead conversion and ads and stuff like that, that's a whole nother conversation that you got to have. But at the same time, we're just talking about getting started with video content, and this is where you start. So I'll run through this one more time and we're going to shut it down. So to start with video content, number one, document testimonials or case studies, and then create tips for your target audience. Those are the types of content you should be doing, is documenting, which is basically if you're at a fix and flip, you're walking through a rehab, film yourself walking through that rehab and point out the things that you're going to be doing to the property. Equipment, use your phone or a cheap camera, $30 lapel mic on Amazon that can plug into your phone. Post-production, go with Fiverr, Upwork, or rei.video. Shameless plug again. And then concept-wise, focus on bringing value, answer people's questions that they have about your service, your product, or your industry. Don't sell, and then don't worry about lights, studios, fancy cameras, and all that stuff. And the last thing is just do it. You just got to do it. Jump into it. If you think that you're afraid of being on camera, that's a whole nother topic that we could talk about, but just make it happen because you read the statistics, you heard the statistics about video content. And if you're not going to get serious about it within the next year, your marketing efforts are going to start to become obsolete. So you got to have video. That's going to do it for today's episode, man. That was a good episode. A little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. At least we brought some value if we did. But thank you so much for joining me. If you're on Facebook Live, if you're on Instagram Live, thank you for joining up. If you watch this later, leave a comment below. If you have questions, reach out to me, josh@colormedia.com. Color spelled C-U-L-L-E-R. Josh@colormedia.com. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have. If you want me to cover a specific topic on the content marketing playbook, make sure that you let me know as well. So if you're watching on Facebook Live, Instagram Live, the content marketing playbook, that's this podcast. Just go search for that on any podcast platform and you will find it. Make sure you subscribe and then reach out to me if you have any reviews. That's going to do it for today's episode. I appreciate you listening and joining today. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. See you later.